Hello everybody, Xyvox here, and today we're going to talk to you about Forestry Part 2 in Farming Simulator 19. We're going to talk to you about all the different ways you can handle and load logs. We're going to talk to you about the different equipment used to transport logs. 2 mods I've used in the past that help out with this, and how and where to sell your logs once they're loaded. Let's get started. Okay, so the first way we're going to talk about is just the manual way of loading these logs. So let's say I have these little pieces of woods that I need to pick up, and you can just go up to them as long as they're not too heavy, and you can just pick them up. And once you pick them up, you can just walk around and move around. You can also throw them, so you can throw them pretty far, but I have my little pickup here, and all I want to do is just load these up. This is the easiest way of doing it. As long as they're not too heavy, you can just pick them up, bring them to your truck, and then drop them, and they're in the truck. Okay, you're probably wondering, okay, that's great, you picked up those small pieces of woods, but what if I wanted to pick up these huge logs? Well, you're not going to be able to do this in the vanilla game. If you look at the top left, you're going to see the object is too heavy. You're going to need to cut it to length, and it's pretty small. So I'm going to say right here, let's try this one. And you just check your toolbar in the top left, and you can try to pick this up, and this one is fine, but some of the bigger ones you might not be able to do. You just pick it up and drop it. And let's try this bigger one right here. See how this log is a little bit thicker? I'm going to cut it to just about the same length, and then I'm going to try to pick it up. See how it's too heavy? Yeah, mass has a thing in this game. If the log is pretty thick, you might have to cut it into smaller pieces. Let's try this one. Can I pick it up now? No, it's still too heavy. Let's cut that in half again. And there you go. I can now pick up that huge log. It's now just a small little stump, but this is one way of moving logs. Now we're going to work from small to big, and let's just say you just want to move one log out of the way, and that's it. That's all you wanted to do. This is the long neck Combi Plus. This is 3,500, and this will go on the back or the front of your tractor. You can just back up to this piece, load it on, and this crane will drop down, pick up 1 or 2 logs if you're lucky, and you can pick that up and move it out of the way. So I am at the field and I'm already in position. You can go ahead and just attach it, and then you back up to the log that you're looking for. Let's say this one right here. You can hit your lower button, so I'm gonna lower it. Then I'm going to close the claws. Now I have it. I'm gonna go ahead and lift it up just a tad bit, and then I'm gonna drive straight. And that is a very, very simple way of moving a log that you can't lift up yourself. Now the next thing we're going to talk about today is actually a mod. We are actually in the mod store right now, and I don't want to butcher this name. I'm just going to say it's the Thai Fun EGV80AHK. I kind of mess it up, but there we're going to go. This is a small attachment that goes on the back of your tractor that you can just attach a wire to the log, and you can just move it that way. It also has a winch on it too, and even better, this can actually daisy chain logs as you go. Now I'm going to go into the game and show you how this works. And just to show you in game what it looks like, you can go into Forestry and you can go all the way to the right to your mods, and this is EGV80AHK, $4,500. It only takes 70 horsepower to run this mod, and it attaches on the back like I said. So I am already at the field and it's already attached, and the way this works is you back it up to the log in question. Let's say this one, and you go up to the log and you press your attach button. That is for me B. And just to show you the winch, you jump back into the tractor. You can turn the winch on, and then you press your winch button and you can actually pull it with you. But you probably don't want to just pull one, so what you can do is you can just attach more lines to this winch, and you can carry them all at the same time. So let's see, there you go. That's a nice little daisy chain. And then you jump into your tractor, and now you can just pull the whole lot all at once. This is a great mod. I've used it in the past, and I recommend it for anybody who is in a very short distance to the sell point, or if you just want to move a bunch of logs all at once into a different area. Okay, so we're still cutting them by hand at this point, and we want a real easy way to load logs that are bigger than what we can carry. So if you go into Forestry and you go to the right, you'll come across the FHL 13AK. This is $54,000, and it costs $2,754 to lease. There is two configurations to this piece of machinery, but we're going to use the wood configuration. And what's going to happen is you're going to sit right here and you're going to use the crane to pick up the log and put it in the back. And you don't forget to unfold this piece of equipment. You're going to put down the two support structures as you go. So I'm going to go ahead and lease this. And I'm using a small tractor today. I did use a truck to pull this at one point, but the truck was just not heavy enough and it was just uncontrollable after it was fully loaded. So I'm going to take this to the field and show you how this works. Okay, I am at the field and I'm pulling up to these logs. These are 5-meter logs that I'm going to use for today's example, and I want to be right here. Now you do not need to get out of the vehicle to put the support structure down, but you do need to switch it to the correct one. So if you switch it to 1 and then you move it to where the support arms go down, now it's secure. It can actually go out further, and what I like to do is jump inside it itself, and what I do from here is switch to a controller. If you have a keyboard and mouse, this may not be the way to go, but I do like the controller for this, and I made custom keys to where I can control this pretty easily. So then you switch it back to 1. So let me go back to 1, and now we can control the arm. So you just pick up the arm and you go over to the log, turn the little crane arm, and then you just pick it up. Bring it around, turn it to where it's straight on, and then you lower it and bring closer to you, and then you just drop it like that. Easy as that. These are 5-meter long logs, and I'm gonna go ahead and load this up and show you what it looks like. And in case you were curious about how I set up my controls, is I hold the top left bumper and I use the left stick to move the crane out and back and left and right, and for the down and up motion I'm still holding the left bumper, and I use the right stick to go down and up, and then you need to close the crane, so I use the right stick to go right, or sorry, left, and that closes it for me, and right opens it. And in order to rotate the crane, what I do is I hold both bumpers, that's how I set it up, and I use the right stick to rotate. And that's how I set mine up for my crane operation. Okay, we are all loaded up, but we're not done yet. We need to fold everything up so we can transport it. So probably the first thing you're going to want to do is put the tension belts on. Now the tension belts are on, you're going to need to move the crane back into a reasonable position so that you don't tip over. So let's go ahead and open it and put it down as low as I can. That looks good. And now you want to switch over and lift up the control arms. Oops, see if I can do this. Is it? There we go. It's down on my mouse. And now we're ready to go. So you're probably wondering where to sell. So if you go onto the map, let's go ahead and go to the map, and my sell point is at the sawmill. I'm going ahead and tag this. I'm going to meet you over there and show you what one tree cut at 5 meters with this piece of equipment is like to sell. I just want to show you something real quick. I am using a small tractor and we are trying to go up this hill and it's taking a very long time. I would recommend, instead of using a small tractor, which you can, that you should instead use a medium-sized tractor with a little bit more horsepower to carry this up the hill. Okay, I am at the sell point. It's pretty easy. It's not complicated. You do not need to unload these logs. What you need to do is go into this kind of like a catch area and then just stop and get out and go to this icon. And then if you look in the top left, you can see the sell wood button. I'm gonna go ahead and press that, and that bunch of logs sold for $6,793. So for the next couple examples of equipment used to transport logs, we're actually going to use a trailer to show these examples. And I just wanted to show you this. This is the SEK 802. This is $8,000. And what's very unique about this trailer in particular is its pin. So this can actually hook onto some of the larger equipment, and the capacity is modifiable. So for example, if you were to get it in this configuration, maybe you just wanted to pull those little twigs or the end pieces of the trees as you cut them, or maybe you just want to use this to move larger logs, and you can just fill this up with logs and take it to the sell point. And I wanted to show you this just to show you that you do not just need dedicated wood carrying trailers to carry logs. You can actually use these tippers and carry logs as well. So I already have this at the field, and this will be used for the next couple examples. So the first example I'm going to show you is actually under skid steer loaders. There are two types of skid steer loaders. There's a L218. This is 35,000 at 61 horsepower, and it only goes 11 miles per hour. This is very slow, and its bigger brother, the C232 at $49,000 and has 74 horsepower, but goes even slower. These are very good. I honestly think they're just tad bit too slow, and maybe the reach is not quite there, but as soon as you get a trailer that you can use this on, you're gonna love it. It's great. So we're gonna be using the C232. I already have it at the field, and I need to show you the attachment. So if you go into tools and you go over to skid steer loaders and you move over to the right some more, so we are looking for the brush and log fork. This is only $2,000. This is going to load on top onto the front of the skid steer, and you're going to use this to pick up the logs. Okay, so I'm at the field. I have my trailer already set up. I have my tool over here just to show you, for example, and these are the logs. These are cut to 4 meters. These will fit snugly inside that trailer. So in order to pick this up, you just drive forward and then you attach, and then now you can move it. You can move it up, down, you can tilt it forward and back. You can open the little forks so you can grab the logs. And I just want to show you this, for example, that when I first started playing this game, I used to think that you could just scoop up these logs, but you can't. Well, what end up happening is that you end up not scooping it up at all. So what you need to do is you kind of just need to pick up one at a time. And in order to do that, you want to point it all the way down, and you want to separate them just a tad bit. I think there we go. Now it's separated, and then you want to pinch, and now you have the log. So just move the log into place. Now you need to make it to the trailer, and for mouse and keyboard guys, this is probably the way you're going to want to go, because this is way easier to control. You just go to the trailer, and then you kind of just open it up, and there you go, it is in there. And just like I said before, this thing is a bit short on the reach. You can barely reach this trailer, but this is a great way to move logs with this small form factor. On to the next one. Okay, so for the second example, we are going to go here to front loaders. This is the KL38T. This is $60,000. It has 75 horsepower. It only goes 24 miles per hour. I honestly think this is a better version than the other one just because it's a tad bit faster, and on top of that it can pull the trailer that I showed you in example because it has a pin. All four wheels move so you can steer in small places, and it has a crane attachment, and it's telescopic, so we're going to need a front attachment. So if you go into tools and you go to front loaders and you go to the right, you will see here the log fork for $800, and I already have this at the field, so I'm going to show you how this works. I am at the field, and just to show you that the wheels do all move, and then the telescopic that I was talking about, you can extend it and retract it. And to pick up this front tool, you just drive forward and you attach it. Now let's go ahead and pick up a log. Remember, we're going to point it down. We're going to go to the log, go down a little bit and close. You don't want to close it too much, and pick up. We got it. And then you just take it to the trailer. This one has a higher reach, and just to show you how far it can go, that's as far as it can go. It's pretty high, but you don't need it for this trailer. Then you just unload it, and there you go. That is the second example. So the next piece of equipment we're going to talk to is actually a tractor, and it's under medium tractors. This is the one I recommend. You can use small tractors for this as well, but I really like this medium tractor, so I'm going to show this one for example. So if you go into medium and you go to the right and you go over here to this fast track 4220, it is 196,000 and it has 235 horsepower and it goes 38 miles per hour. This is actually the fastest medium-sized tractor in this tier, and on top of that, all four of the wheels do move, so you can get into corners a lot easier. So when you're picking this tractor, do not forget to get the front loader attachment. It is actually $1,500 to add on to front loader attachment. You need this for the front loader attachment to go on the front of the tractor, and if you wanted to lease it, it would be $10,072. Okay, so now you have your tractor. Now we need to talk about front loaders. You need something to actually pick things up, and what you want to do for medium tractors is get the FZ60. This is $8,000 and it requires 150 horsepower, and this will go on the front of the tractor. And then you're going to need a tool to pick up the logs, and just like the other front loader, this is a log fork. We showed you this before. It's $800, but also you're going to need a weight. Now you don't necessarily need a weight, but for some of these logs that are heavier, you're going to find out your tractor is going to tip over. So go into weights, and I would just pick up this SB 1000 for $900 and use this as a go. I'm going to meet you at the field and show you how all this works together. I am at the field and I'm all lined up, and just to show you that all four wheels move just like so you can get in those corners, and we're going to go ahead and back up. We're going to pick up the weight, and then what you want to do is drive forward and make sure you line up correctly, and you want to pick up the FC60, and then you want to drive forward again to your next attachment, and now you're all attached and ready to go. So what I like to do, just like before with all the other ones, this is actually a bigger tractor, and you do have to make wider turns to turn all the way around. But yep, just like before, you pick it up, and then you turn around and go to the trailer. So you have to line up a little bit more. And there you go. That is a tractor setup that I like and I use in game. The next one we're going to talk to you about today are telehandlers, and there are three of them. They all work pretty much the same, but because I use mouse and keyboard, I'm not going to use the first one. I'm actually going to use the second one. This is a 9407. This is $93,000 and it has 122 horsepower and goes 24 miles per hour. This one also has a little pin attachment in the back, so you can pull trailers with this. And to lease this, it's going to cost $4,743. We go ahead and got that. Now we need the tool to go with it, and it's going to be under telehandlers. And then you go to the left, or the right, and you get the log fork for $3,400, like so. I'm going to go ahead and lease this one as well. And these are great. These ones have the telescopic zoom. This is actually really far, and it has the 4 wheels that turn as well. And to load this up, you can go ahead and attachment. I am not a big fan of this front attachment, but I am going to show you this right now when I meet you at the field. Okay, we are all lined up and ready to go. I forgot to mention that this one does not need a counterweight. This telehandler can pick up very large trees without a problem. Maybe not the biggest trees in the world, but any 8-meter cuts it could pick up no problem. The only thing that I don't like is the front fork. And the reason why I don't like the front fork is just it's a tad bit weird on how it works. So if you're with me on not liking this front fork, what I suggest you do is go ahead and download a mod. I cannot find one in game to show you, for example, but let me show you real quick. You kind of just squeeze it, and it's a little bit weird and looks a little funky, but it does work, and you can actually see what I mean by how funky it is. It's just there's space and like phantom grabbing powers that this thing has, and if you try to grab more than 2 with this telehandler, it will fall. But besides that, if you don't use this front attachment and download a mod, like I said, it works awesome. And you just go to the log, and just to show you how far this thing can go, it can go really far. And you put it down and you unload it, and there you go. That is the telehandler. The next one we're going to talk to you about today are wheeled loaders, and this is a W190D. It's $175,000 at 234 horsepower, and it goes 24 miles per hour. This is a overpowered machine that I honestly don't think works very well for this, but I'm going to show you this anyways. And if you go over here to the tools and you go to wheeled loaders, you can actually see it right there. This is a log fork. We're going to go ahead and lease this, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the wheel loader as well, and I'm going to meet you at the field. And just to show you, it's $8,925 2 leases if you wanted to. I'm going to meet you at the field and show you how this works. I am at the field now, and this one, for you guys who have mouse and keyboard, you might not like this because of the way it turns, but it does have a small turning circle, as you can see right here. And then you can just go to your attachment and pick it up, and then you can open up the forks. It's a bit weird, and for this one, what I think works best is you just kind of scoop it up. This one actually works that way, and then you close the forks. I have not personally been able to get a full load on this thing. I've only been able to carry like 1 or 2, and then close it more, and there you go. You should ideally be able to carry 3 to 4 full-size logs with this, but I've never been able to do this in game. But there you go, this is the wheel loader that is in game. Now we need to talk about trailers, and the first one I'm going to talk to you about is actually a mod. This is under the IT Runner Pack in the mod section, and it's going to have a wood container, and you're also going to want the actual trailer itself, the tipper portion, which is this right here, and I'm going to show you this in game right now. Okay, so the first part of that mod is you're going to need the actual trailer to move the container. So that is under trailers, and you go all the way to the right. That is where your mods are located, and this is what it is. This is an ITR 2633 HD. This is $55,000, and this will actually pick up the container and pull it on its back and take it to where you want to go. This is $2,805 to lease. Okay, we have the actual trailer. Now we need the equipment to use, and that is under forestry equipment. And you go all the way to the right, and this is the container that you're going to use. This is called the wood container, is $7,500, and this to lease is $382, and this will go on the back of the trailer. So I'm already lined up. I'm going to show you how this works. You can use a truck or tractor and back this up, and then what you want to do is extend the arm. After the arm is extended, you back up to it, you hit your attach button, and then you want to load a container. And to show you this, this also has belts as well. And what's great about this is when it's lowered, some of the smaller tractors, like maybe this tractor right here, and the telehandlers can use this as well, and it's a bit smaller than some of the longer tractors and doesn't require a massive truck to pull it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this in position and show you how this works. Okay, so I'm gonna line this up into position. I'm going to be using 8-meter logs for this example for today, and I think this is a good spot. So you want to drop off the container. You can actually move it while it's dropping off. Let's say right here looks like a good spot, and what you can do is you can just unload it if you like, or for this example I'm just going to leave it as it is and ready to go. And I'm going to use this tractor to go ahead and load up some logs. So these are 8-meter logs. I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. Let's see, which one do I want to get? Oh, this might actually work. I'm going to try to grab the 2. Okay, I have the 2. It's a little questionable. Oh, nope, I got the 1. The 1 will work. We're just going to use the 1 for now. And then you go to the trailer. And then you put it down and unload it. Okay, and just to show you, for example, what you would do if this was full is you would go to it, you would fasten it, and then you would load container. And now this is ready to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up and go to the sell point to show you what it's like to sell with this container on a full load. Okay, so that took a little bit of time. This is actually 4 trees at 8 meters loaded up. So I'm gonna go ahead and load it up just to show you what it looks like when it's full. I do think that you could go ahead and put 5 trees all together on top of this loader. There is room, but you got to remember that when you're pulling this along, this is really top heavy. So I'm gonna meet you at the sell point and show you what it looks like to sell with this trailer. I just wanted to show you this real quick. Even though you can pull this with a medium tractor, it is heavy. We are going 15 miles per hour and I'm at full throttle. So I recommend, if you're going to use this for really large loads, that you use an actual truck. Okay, we're at the sell point, and just like before, we're just going to stop in this catch area. We're going to go to this marker, this little icon on here, and hit sell. That was $35,805. The next piece of equipment that I'm going to show you is kind of a combo. It's a trailer and a crane all in one, and that one is under Forestry machines. This is the TGX 26640. It's 180,000. It has 640 horsepower and it goes 49 miles per hour. It has its own storage and it has its own crane. You can change the color on this thing. So for instance, if I wanted it white, I could change it white, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it red. And this is one of my favorite pieces of equipment. It's all in one. You just pick up and go. You can lease this for $9,180, and also it has an attachment to carry a little small trailer. So with this one, it can carry 6-meter logs, and you're going to have a little bit of leftovers. And so what you do with those leftovers is you just carry the little small trailer with it, which I will show you right here. This one I showed you at the beginning, the SEK 802. I'm gonna go ahead and lease this one, and I'm gonna attach this up and show you how this works. This drives just like a regular truck. And then you attach, and now you have two. You have a little trailer in the back for all the leftovers, and then you have the big container area in the front-ish middle for your larger logs. I'm gonna meet you at the field and show you how this works. Okay, we are at the field, and I have my pile of logs that I want to put on this truck. So you do not want to be too far with this one. This one will tip over if you extend too far, but what you want to do is line up like so, and then you need to unfold the truck. It's gonna unfold like this, and I like to use a controller with the crane, and crane is actually one of my favorite ones to operate. I find this to be the easiest. And then you just go ahead and go over here. Let me line it up. Oops, line it up. Go ahead and scoop it up, and then you load it. And voila. And this one has a tension belt, so you can strap down those logs. And for those little logs that you can't really pick up with the crane, you can just throw it in the back of the trailer. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up and show you what it's like to sell a full load with this piece of equipment. Okay, so I'm all loaded up, but I just wanted to show you this. This is 4 trees at 6 meters, and I have a little bit of leftovers in the trailer. But if you were to switch out to this trailer, the bigger one with the longer, with the taller tipper, you can possibly get 6 trees in one go. So since I'm already full, I'm gonna go ahead and meet you at the sell point and show you what it's like to sell a load with this piece of equipment. Be careful when you're driving this thing. It has a lot of horsepower. It can go up this hill, no problem, but it's very top heavy, and I think I've tipped over at least 3 or 4 times, or almost tipped over at least 3 or 4 times by now. So yeah, just be careful when you're driving this. And there is my tip over. Now, don't panic. Instead of resetting your vehicle, what you want to do is unfold, and then you can use the crane itself to kind of tip yourself back over. So you unfold, get it all extended, which it might take a little bit of time, and then just kind of push yourself back over. There you go. Just want to show you that real quick, just in case you did run into this problem like I did. Okay, I am at the sell point right now. This is 4 trees at 6 meters, and this will do. And go to the sell point, hit your sell button, and that was $29,728. Okay, these 2 equipment we need to talk about real quick. This is going to be a comparison between these 2. I'm going to be comparing the 875, the Buffalo, and the TGX. Now, the main comparison that I want you guys to pay attention to is the speed. Look, this one goes 49 miles per hour. This means that you can load this and deliver it with no problems. But the 875 goes 12 miles per hour. And the Buffalo goes 12 miles per hour as well. I do not think you will be using these in the same fashion that you would use the TGX for. I just don't see it. But what I did notice between these 2 is the 875 and the Buffalo are heavier, and their crane is more robust, meaning you can go out further, you can pick up more with ease with these 2 cranes. Okay, now that we have these comparisons out of the way, this one, the 875, is 216,000. It has 251 horsepower and it only goes 12 miles per hour. The leasing cost for this is $11,016, and you can change the wheels. You can get the little traction in the wheels if you like. I don't really think this really changes anything. To me, if you were going to use this, what you would do is take this somewhere where it's hard to get a semi to, and then load this up and then transport it to the semi and then take it to the sell point. That's how I would think. The main thing that's difference between the 875 and the Buffalo is its carrying wagon. This one is actually shorter than the Buffalo. So I'm gonna go ahead and lease this so I can show you that. And here is the Buffalo. I think this looks better. This is 221,000. The lease this is 11,271, and you can change the wheels just like the other one if you like. The carrying wagon is bigger, and this one can actually carry the 8-meter logs if you wanted to with ease, as with the 875 you couldn't do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and lease this to show you what that looks like when they're together. So they are together, and if I back this one up a little bit, you're gonna see that the Buffalo has just that much bigger of a carrying, I want to say, wagon on the back, and it can carry those 8-meter logs with ease if that's what you wanted to use it. So I'm going to take the Buffalo over here to my field and show you what it's like to use this. Okay, we are at the field, and I need to show you this real quick because I forgot about it, but just in case you wanted to know, you can switch driver positions. So for me, that's Control B, and now the seat is turned around and I can drive it this way if I like. I don't really care to drive it this way. I'm just going to switch it back to the other way. And those are 8-meter logs. So I'm going to go ahead and get into position. And there you go. I'm going to grab my controller and get started. I really like this crane. I think the vehicle is heavier, so it makes it easier to pick up larger logs. And on top of that, it just feels better. Like, it just has a longer reach. It doesn't look gimpy or anything like that, and I just like the crane on this vehicle, but I do not like the top speed. So when I show you this next trailer, this is probably the way I would do it if I was to use this, which I like the crane that much that I would use this. So you load it up like this, and then there you go, let it go, and it's good to go. And this one has tension belts. So I'm going to show you this trailer real quick, and then I will show you how I would use this. Okay, so for the last trailer that I'm going to show you, it is under Forestry equipment. And if you go to the right, you're going to come across the Timber Runner. This is 28,000, and you're going to need a truck or a dolly to use this. It's fairly simple. It has a big trailer. You can put 8-meter logs on here, but you're going to notice that it doesn't quite fill the trailer up. So what I would do, and this is why I like the crane, is you can put 6-meter, 2 sets of 6-meter logs on this trailer and use it that way. This one will cost $28,000, like I said, and $1,428 to lease, and you can change the wheels on this. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this, get it into position, and show you how this works. I am actually here in the mountains to kind of show you how I think the Buffalo works and show you the trailer. So here I am, and this is where I think the Buffalo shines, right? Like, you can go over the mountains and not worry about this thing tipping over. And on top of that, you can lift up your own little load and then take it where you want to go. So you can see my trailer over there, and I'm just gonna kind of mosey my way over there. And yeah, it just makes it just fine. These are 6-meter logs. So if you look on the trailer right now, there's already 6-meter logs. I'm actually running over a stump right now. Let me go around this stump. And so this can hold the 6-meter logs in the front, like I told you, but it also can hold 6-meter logs on the back side. And you can kind of get them to hang over a little bit. Let me switch over to my controller. So let's go ahead and take that off. And just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, I'm going to go ahead and change my camera to where I can see. I'm going to grab one log. Oh, perfect. And then I'm going to put it on the back side just to show you what it looks like when you have 2 stacks of 6-meter logs in there. And there you go. So that's what it looks like to have the second stack of 6-meter logs. It just hangs a little bit, but you can do it. So yeah, I'm gonna fill this up and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like to have the double stack with 6-meter logs. So don't forget to add a strap before you leave, and I'm gonna meet you at the sell point to show you how much this is. I don't know how many trees I cut down to get this much because the trees varied, because I used the land and I just kind of picked and pulled trees as they went, but I will show you what the outcome is. I am at the sell point, so I'm just gonna pull in real quick. And this looks about right, so I'm gonna jump out. We're gonna go to the sell icon and we're going to hit sell. That was $48,306. And this was Forestry tutorial part 2. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and I'll answer them as they come. I am Xyvox, and you guys have a very nice day.